Hello everyone, welcome back to a new video. Today it's going to be all about the hips and the heart. So opening up and finding a little bit of mobility and flexibility through those hips, and then also opening up the front of the chest. I thought this would be quite a nice balance, and we're going to be very close to the floor today. You will need a blanket to pad up your knees. Even if you don't usually pad up your knees, I would highly recommend you do, because we are going to be spending some time on those knees today. Okay, let's get started. We're going to start in a comfortable seat. If you want to sit on your blanket, you can. So resting the hands onto the knees or the thighs. Just give yourself a moment to ground through those sitting bones, and then closing down the eyes. Take a smooth breath in through the nose and a big sigh. Just give yourself a moment here to notice how you feel. So scanning down from the top of the head, down over the shoulders, down over the chest, through the spine and down to the hips. Notice if there's any difference between your left and your right. And continuing down all the way to your toes. Now just take this moment to thank yourself for carving out this time and moving through this practice with love and compassion towards our bodies. So you can keep your eyes closed for this if you want. We're just going to begin to make some circles through the hips here. Just allowing your breath to flow naturally. Wonderful. Circle in the opposite way. Anything that feels particularly good, lean into that today. And see if we can always make these movements mindful. So even some of our movements we do quite a lot during these practices, see if we can not fall into habit of just kind of going through the motions. See if you can really feel into it each and every time you come to the mat. Wonderful, good. As you inhale, sitting up nice and tall. And then let's find an all fours position. This is where you're going to pad up your knees. So hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath our hips. Spread those fingers nice and wide. As you inhale, drop your belly, sway your heart, look up. And as you exhale, round. Think about opening up the back of the heart as you press the shoulder blades into the ceiling. Lovely. Inhale, tailbone up, crown of the head up. And exhale, round. Nice. Take a couple of more of those in your own time. And then maybe introducing some irregular movement. So whatever that means to you, maybe that's a forwards and back. Swing the hips, side to side, something else. Wonderful. Good. Now come into a neutral place with your spine. We're going to find puppy pose. So for this one, the wider you have your hands, the more accessible it is. The narrower you have your hands, the little more challenging it is. So start wide and then dropping either the chin down or the forehead down. And then you can maybe explore walking the hands a little closer together. Now, if you've got a lot of padding underneath your knees, this is going to make it a little bit harder than usual. So just be wary of that and be kind. So some nice slow exhalations just to sink the heart down to the floor. See if you can send your breath towards your armpits, and towards your back body as well. Wonderful. Slowly walking your hands back underneath your shoulders. Take a breath in. And then as you exhale, push those hips forwards. Let the head drop down. Breathe it here. Wonderful. Good. Inhale to a neutral place. We're going to extend the right leg back, pushing through the heel. And then nice and slow, we're going to take it all the way out to the side and plant it on the floor next to us. So I'm going to demo from the front. So you want your ankle kind of in line with your knee, roughly. Toes pointing forwards. As you inhale, lean forwards. And as you exhale, sit back. So in your own flow. Just starting to feel into the groin. This is nice for loosening up the lower back as well. Good. Shoulders now over your wrists, hands onto the hips, and then come on up. This is where you definitely need padding underneath this knee. Wonderful. From here, as you inhale, this right big toe is going to reach up to the ceiling. That foot is flexed. Exhale, base of the big toe down. So inhaling up and down. So it's quite a small movement. And don't worry if it takes you a little time to kind of figure it out. I quite like to pop my hand onto the muscles that I feel working. Might help you find that mind-muscle engagement. So inhaling up, shine your inner thigh forwards. Exhale, inner thigh shines down to the floor. Good. Next time that big toe reaches up, you're going to slide that heel just a few inches a little more close to you, and then plant the foot and then just begin to lean into it. So you're going to feel glorious stretch here. So try not to bounce too much. Think about it like leaning into it and then retreating. Lovely, good. Next time you come up, we're going to heel toe this right foot all the way out in front of us. So we're in this low lunge now. Right hand to right thigh, reach up with your left, and then exhale over. Keep kicking your left pocket forward. So I want you to really squeeze that left glute. You're going to open out your hip flexor here as well. Wonderful, deep breath in. Exhale, left hand down. Right hand's going to stay on this thigh and then press into that left hand as you find a twist here. Good, deep breath in. Exhale, hands down. So the hands are on the inside of that right foot. Take a little rock from side to side. Wonderful, good. Then you're going to bring this right foot in between your hands and then come back up to that low lunge. So reaching your hands up, keep squeezing your glutes and then cactus out your arms, lift your heart. So we're getting into the heart space a little bit here. Energy through the hands. And see if you can keep the neck nice and long. Notice if you're kind of crunching into the back of the neck. See if you can lift up. Good, deep breath in. Exhale, hands down to the mat. Step it back to an all fours position. Perfect, we're going to do the opposite side. So you're going to extend your left leg all the way back. Then take it out to the side and plant it onto the floor. I haven't got enough space here. So these toes are pointing forward, same way as your fingers. Inhale, lean forward. Exhale, sit back. And don't worry if the movements feel quite small today. If you're feeling a bit tight, it's all good. So that's the whole kind of part of our mindful movement, is that we are mindful of how we are each and every single day, rather than falling into habit of like, oh, I used to be able to do this yesterday and I can't do it today, or oh, I should be able to do this because I've been doing it a long time, and all that kind of internal dialogue. See if we can let go of that. Just allow ourselves to really be in the moment where we are. Great, good. Hands now onto the hips and come on up. Just make sure this knee is nice and comfy. Inhale, big toe up. Exhale, down. So focus on the hip, and the foot will kind of obviously follow suit. So if you just focus on the ankle, you just kind of get rotation through the ankle. See if we can lift up, inner thigh shining forwards. Exhale, inner thigh down. Wonderful, good. Next time that big toe reaches up to the ceiling, I want you to slide that heel just a little closer in, and then plant the foot and lean into it. So listening into your hips here. I forgot to mention on the other side, if you want to pull the flesh away from your hip crease out to the side, you might find you can get a little lower. So yes, if you've got a little bit of padding here, or if you've got like very thick trousers on, just pull the fabric and the flesh away from the joint, and you might be able to just find a little more lean. Lovely, good. Next time you come up, you're going to heel toe that left foot all the way to the left hand corner of your mat. Left hand to left thigh, right hand up. Keep squeezing that right glute, and then come on over. Good, take a deep breath in. As you exhale, bring that right hand down, sink in the hips, and then pressing into that left hand to find a twist. Wonderful, good. Releasing that left hand down, and then just take a little rock from side to side here. Doesn't need to be much. Good, and then we're going to bring that left foot in between the hands, and then come on up to a low lunge. This time, rather than cactus out, we're going to take our arms behind, interlace the fingers, squeeze the hands together, draw the knuckles down, and lift the chest. So a little more heart opening. If you want to, you can sink into those hips. Absolutely your choice though. Listen to that lower back. Now I want you to take some really proud and big breaths into your heart space. Good, deep breath in. And as you exhale, releasing those hands down, come back to an all fours position. Spread those fingers wide. Perfect. Tuck your toes. We're going to find downward facing dog. So sending those sitting bones back and up. Take a little pedal through the feet. Maybe a little shake out through the head, whatever you need here. Good. From here, bend your knees a lot. We're going to walk our hands back towards our feet, so coming to the back edge of the mat. Grabbing opposite elbows and just allow yourself to hang out. Little rocks, little bounces, whatever it is that feels good here. Good. Fingertips down to your mat now. Turn your big toes out. Bend into your knees. You're going to come into a deep squat. So if you struggle to keep your heels on the floor, this is another great way that we can use our rolled up blanket. You can just pop the blanket underneath your heels as a nice little support. So fingertips on the floor, and we're just going to take a little rock from side to side here. So maybe one hip opens and then the other. And this is going to look different for all of us. So if balance allows, you can even close your eyes and just focus on how that feels. Lovely, good. From here, we're going to sit our bum down. Take the feet out. Nice big breath in. And then as you exhale, you're going to allow your knees to fall to one side. Now I want you to find 90 degrees with the legs. So 2 right angles. So this wouldn't be it because they're too close together. You want a nice right angle here and a nice right angle here. Good. Feet lightly flexed. Turn towards your now front leg. Breathe. And then as you exhale, fold. You can rest on your hands. You can rest on your forearms. Check in with the jaw. Notice if we're gritting our teeth. Good. Notice if you have got any gripping around your hips and your glutes. Just become aware of that and see if you can use a nice slow exhalation to release those spaces. Good. Slowly coming back up. So the easier version or the more accessible version is hands behind. The more challenging version is hands at your heart. So I'll let you decide. You can start with this one and then move to this one if you want. So legs remain the same. With your back leg, as you inhale, you're going to lift that knee up. You're going to feel that squeeze here. And as you exhale, place it down. So inhaling up and down. And don't worry if your lift is that. That's absolutely fine. Up and down. And you can see how resting your hands back is a little easier. So just get a few really good reps in. When you get to the top of your lift, squeeze, 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 and exhale to slowly release it down. Nice. Next time your knee is lifted, you're going to keep it lifted, squeeze, 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 and then slowly transition onto both sitting bones. And then we're going to turn and find right angles with the legs opposite direction. If you need to adjust, it's absolutely fine. Turn towards your now front leg, breathe, and fold. So same thing here. Give yourself time to settle into it. You don't need to come like, boom, straight down into your deepest, strongest hold. Soften the muscles around your forehead, around your eyes. Relax your shoulders, your chest. And then letting go of any unnecessary effort held in those hips. Wonderful. Slowly coming back up. Take your time. You can either have your hands at your heart or hands behind. Same thing here. So inhale, lift in the back knee. Oh, do you hear that click? Exhale, bring it down. So inhaling up and down. So when you get to the top, find that peak of effort. Squeeze, find a little pause and then down. Can we get a third one? Lovely, good. And then next time you lift, squeeze and hold, and then slowly, slowly come back onto your sitting bones. From here, we're going to bring the soles of the feet together. We're going to make it a little more chilled, so you're welcome to sit on a blanket if you want. And we're just going to slide the feet a little further away from us. So breathe in. And then as you exhale, round. So we're opening up, obviously, the hips, but think about opening up the back of the heart here. So let your head drop. Allow your shoulder blades to just flop to the sides. And as you breathe in, see if you can really press your breath into your shoulder blades. Good, take one more deep breath here. Nice big sigh. And then slowly, slowly coming back up, closing up the knees. Let's part the feet, hands behind. Take a little swipe from side to side. Really push your hips from side to side so you feel a little opening through your chest and the front of the shoulder as well. Good. So I'm going to leave you in the next pose and you can stay here for as long as you wish today. You could either do it with a block covered in a blanket, a bolster. You could use a couple of pillows from your bed. But I think a rolled up blanket is quite nice for most people. So either this kind of height is quite nice, or you can even double it up for a little more height. And you're aiming for your prop to be on the bottom of your shoulder blades. So kind of like here in this kind of upper back region. So not too low and kind of right behind your heart, if that makes sense. So this is going to be a supported fish pose. And it's just going to allow your heart to open up nicely. So you see here, my chest is nice and lifted and we're releasing this space. Doesn't matter what you do with the legs, you can have them out straight, you can continue with the hip opening. And with the arms, my only recommendation is that the palms face up, so they can either be here or here if that feels good. So give yourself a moment to get into it. Trust the support that you've chosen. Close your eyes. Take a deep and full breath in. And a big sigh out. Just allowing yourself to fall back here. And before you head into some relaxation, just take a moment to thank yourself for carving out some time for your hips and your heart today. Thank you so, so much for joining me for this class, and I'll see you on another one very soon.